I have $1,000 in savings. I am 39 years old. I grew up in Harvey, Illinois. I am a managing director at BMO in their infrastructure finance group. I make $385,000 a year, and I have $41,000 in savings. Okay, income. Let's start at the top. My salary. My base salary is $240,000 a year. One job, one employer. BMO, which is a major Canadian bank with a very large and very serious presence in Chicago. I work in infrastructure finance, which means I spend my days structuring debt and equity for things like toll roads, water utilities, energy projects, the kind of infrastructure that makes a city actually function. I have been doing this for 11 years. I did not go to an Ivy League school. I went to University of Illinois at Chicago because UIC had a good finance program and I could afford it. I want that known. Annual bonus, $145,000. This is a guaranteed bonus under my comp structure. It's written into my contract. It hits every year in February, and it is W-2 income. Some MDs in investment banking have purely discretionary bonuses that can swing wildly based on deal flow. Mine doesn't. It's guaranteed. That was a deliberate negotiation I made 2 jobs ago, and I have not given it up. Dividend income, 0. I have money in a 401k, but I'm not pulling dividends. It's just sitting there. Growing, I assume, though I don't check it as often as a 39-year-old woman with a child should. Total pre-tax income, $385,000 a year. Now let's do what the government does to that number. Pre-tax monthly income, $32,083. Monthly 401k contribution, I max it out. In 2026, the limit is $24,500 a year, which is $2,042 a month. This comes out before anything else. I started doing this when I made $78,000 a year at my first real finance job, and I have not stopped. My mother does not have a retirement account. That is not going to happen to me. FICA, Social Security and Medicare. Social Security is 6.2% up to the wage base, which in 2026 is $184,500. So that's $11,439 a year, $953 a month. Medicare is 1.45% on everything, plus an additional 0.9% on income above $200,000. Combined Medicare comes to $7,248 a year, or $604 a month. Total FICA, $1,557 a month. Federal income taxes. After my 401k and the standard deduction, my taxable income is $344,400. I am in the 35% marginal bracket. My effective federal rate works out to roughly 25.9%. Total federal tax, $89,309 a year, $7,442 a month. Illinois state income tax, flat 4.95%. On my AGI of $360,500, that's $17,845 a year, $1,487 a month. No brackets, no games, just 4.95% on everything. The one thing I'll say is, no city income tax. Chicago does not have one. New York City residents pay a city income tax on top of state tax. I've had colleagues relocate from New York, and the first February here they almost cried, looking at the difference in their paychecks. That difference on my income is real money. Post-tax monthly take-home, $19,555. Total annual take-home pay, $234,660. Total monthly take-home, $19,555, which is a real number. It is also a number that you are about to watch disappear in real time. Let's go through it. Rent. I live in the South Loop in a two-bedroom luxury high-rise. My apartment costs $4,800 a month. I want to say some things about that number before you say something about it first. I have a 9-year-old. He needs his own room. That is not negotiable. I also leave the office at 7:30, sometimes 8, sometimes later, and I am not spending 40 minutes on the CTA after a day like that. I live 12 minutes from the office. My building has a doorman, which matters when Marcus is with the nanny, and I need to know someone is managing that building. It's $4,800 a month. I don't love it. It's the right choice. Groceries, $420 a month.
You got some groceries.
I shop at Mariano's on Michigan Avenue, which, look, it's not the cheapest option, but it's on my walk home and I cannot be making extra stops at 9 p.m. on a Thursday. I also order from Instacart twice a month when I'm really drowning. Marcus has strong opinions about what he will and will not eat, which makes grocery shopping feel like a negotiation with a small and unreasonable business partner. Utilities, $220 a month. Electric, gas, high-speed internet. The building is relatively modern, so I'm not dealing with old radiators and horror story winter gas bills, but Chicago in February has opinions about your electric bill regardless. Student loans, $345 a month. I have $18,000 remaining on a grad school loan, a master's in finance from DePaul that I finished at 28 while working full-time. I have never once regretted the degree. I have never once enjoyed the payment. Credit card debt, 0. Paid in full every month. This is the one financial behavior I will defend to the end. My card is an Amex Platinum because the lounge access matters when I travel and because I have earned the lounge access. Investments outside the 401k, 0. I keep meaning to open a brokerage account. I have not. I know, it's on the list. The list is long. Laundry, in unit, 0. Nanny, $4,200 a month. Her name is Celestine. She has been with us for 2 years. She picks Marcus up from school, feeds him dinner 3 nights a week, manages his schedule on days I can't, and frankly, knows more about what's happening in his life on a given Wednesday than I do. $4,200 a month is not enough for what she does, and I know it. She gets a significant end-of-year bonus. Car. I drive a 2023 BMW X3. I grew up in Harvey. I did not own a car until I was 32 because I didn't have the money and the city didn't require it. Now I have a kid who goes to school in the South Loop, and I occasionally need to be in the suburbs for client meetings, and I'm not doing that in an Uber with a car seat. Lease plus insurance plus gas, $1,010 a month. Parking in the building garage is another $450 on top of that. So the full car situation, all in, is $1,460 a month. Chicago parking is a whole thing. Public transportation, $40 a month. I occasionally take the Red Line when I'm going somewhere downtown without Marcus, and I feel like being a person who uses public transportation. Roughly twice a month. Total responsible spending, $11,485 a month. Fun and random, $700 a month. I went to the Chicago Architecture Foundation's boat tour in September and bought their largest coffee table book because Marcus asked why some buildings were different colors and I couldn't answer him and I needed to fix that immediately. We went to the Field Museum 3 times last year. Marcus is very into geology, which I did not see coming, and the Field Museum's Gem and Mineral Hall is apparently a premium experience because every visit involves a gift shop purchase I did not plan for. I also bought a very good standing desk for the second bedroom because I work from home on Fridays. I am counting that as fun. It brought me joy. Alcohol, $150 a month. 2 glasses of wine at home most nights of the week. A nice bottle from the wine shop on Wabash on Fridays. I go out maybe twice a month. Ventu, occasionally the Gauge for a late drink after dinner. And I am almost always home before midnight because I have a 9-year-old and because I am 39 and I value sleep. Ubers and Lyfts, $380 a month. Even with the car, there are nights, a client dinner in River North, a work event I can't drive home from, airport trips for work travel where I don't want to deal with parking at O'Hare, where the Uber just makes sense. Surge pricing in Chicago on a rainy Tuesday night is its own kind of financial education. Total irresponsible, $1,230 a month. Eating out and delivery, $1,600 a month. Here is where I have to be honest about the volume. I cook 3, maybe 4 nights a week. Actual cooking, pot on the stove, Marcus at the table asking me questions about my day. The other nights are covered by whatever I ordered on DoorDash at 7:15 p.m. after a client call ran long. My go-tos: Virtue in Hyde Park when I want something special. Rosebud on Rush because it's close and Marcus will eat the pasta. I get Ghanaian food from a place in Rogers Park once a week. Jollof rice, kilewele, partly because I want it, and partly because I want Marcus to know what it tastes like. He says it's too spicy. He will come around. Travel, $650 a month averaged. I travel for work. New York, Houston, Toronto, occasionally London, and BMO covers that. What comes out of my pocket is a personal vacation I take every summer with Marcus. Last year we went to Accra. It was his first time in Ghana, my father's country, and watching him figure out what that meant to him, even at 8 years old, was the best money I have ever spent. I'd spend it twice. I'm also saving for a trip to Washington, D.C. in the spring, for the National Museum of African American History, because Marcus is 9, and he is going to know this history before he knows anything else. Gym, $290 a month. East Bank Club, I know. But it is close to work, it has a pool, Marcus takes swim lessons there on Saturday mornings, and I can get a workout in on the same trip. The childcare component of that membership makes it defensible. I have made my peace with the East Bank Club. Hair, $260 a month. I go to a natural hair salon in the South Loop every 3 weeks. Wash, style, treatment. It's a 2-hour appointment, and it's the 2 hours a month that are entirely mine. My stylist's name is Imani. I would relocate for Imani if I had to. Clothes, $500 a month. I need good suits. I need good blazers. I walk into rooms, boardrooms, client meetings, presentations to city planning committees, and I am still, depending on the day, one of very few women and frequently the only Black woman. I am not going in underdressed. Half of what I spend is basics from Banana Republic and Madewell because they fit right. The other half is the blazer from a boutique on Michigan Avenue that I bought in October and have worn 16 times. Coffee, $210 a month. 2 coffees a day. First one from Intelligentsia in the South Loop at 6:45 a.m. before I go to the office. Second one from wherever is available at 2 p.m. when I'm running between meetings and my brain stops cooperating. I have a coffee machine at home that I use exactly never. This is a choice I've made. Subscriptions, $150 a month. Netflix, Spotify, iCloud. The Athletic because I need to talk sports with clients and I need to know what's happening with the Bears. Disney Plus because Marcus controls that one, and a meditation app I opened 4 times last year but am not ready to cancel. Marcus's school, $2,333 a month. His school is a private school in the South Loop, $28,000 a year. I want to talk about this number for a moment. I went to Harvey Public Schools. They were not bad schools. They were underfunded and overcrowded, and the teachers were extraordinary and working harder than anyone should have to. I know exactly what Marcus would be getting in CPS, and the selective enrollment schools are genuinely competitive and genuinely good, and I know that. But I also know what my South Loop zip code means for which schools he would automatically be assigned to, and I am not willing to navigate that lottery with my son's education. $28,000 a year. It's there. Support for my mother in Harvey. $700 a month. This is not tracked on a spreadsheet. It's just what I do. She raised me, she worked 2 jobs, she did not ask for anything, and now I can make sure she doesn't have to worry about her car or her roof or the specialist she needs but Medicare won't fully cover. $700 a month is what it runs on average. Some months it's $1,000. She doesn't know how much I spend on it. That's not something I intend to change. Total bonus spending. $6,693 a month. 401k balance. $78,000. I've been maxing it since I was 26. Some of those years I was making 60-something thousand, and maxing the 401k meant I had almost nothing left over. I did it anyway. My advisor says it's the smartest thing I've done. My savings account would like to agree. Cash savings. $41,000. That's the number from the beginning. That is it. I have done the math on where it went, and I'll tell you because I think honesty is the only thing that makes these conversations worth having. The nanny is the biggest single non-housing expense I have. $4,200 a month. That's $50,400 a year. For a woman who makes it possible for me to do my job.
Take care of her and she takes care of me.
There is no version of my career without Celestine. There is also no version of my savings that isn't dramatically different without that cost. That is the math of single parenthood at this income level in this city. Marcus's school runs $28,000 a year. The car and parking combined are $17,500 a year. I bought in Harvey recently, a house, my mom's neighborhood, that I am renovating to be able to move her into a newer space. That project has been ongoing and expensive in the unpredictable way that renovation projects always are. And I send money home. I've been sending money home since my first year out of college when I made $38,000, and I sent my mother $200 a month because that was what I could do then. The amount has grown. The habit has not changed. I know $41,000 is not the number it should be at 39 on this salary. I also know that $41,000 is more liquid cash than anyone in my family has ever had at one time. Both of those things are true simultaneously. Other investments, 0. Brokerage account, still on the list. It's moving up. Total savings, $119,000. That includes the 401k and the cash, which is genuinely not embarrassing when I say it. What's embarrassing is knowing where it should be. Short term, I want $75,000 in liquid cash within the next 18 months. I am going to cut the eating out budget by $400 a month, which I've said before and mostly done, and then October happened and I stopped tracking. I'm tracking again. The renovation in Harvey wraps in the spring, which removes a significant irregular expense. Long term, I want to buy in Chicago. Not rent, own. A condo in the South Loop or maybe Hyde Park, close to Marcus's school, close enough to the office. I want a piece of this city to be mine. The property taxes in Cook County are genuinely brutal. I've been running the numbers, and a condo at whatever I'd be looking at is going to add $4,000 to $5,000 a year in property taxes alone. But I'm not leaving. Chicago made me who I am in ways I'm still figuring out. I grew up 40 minutes south of this skyline, watching it from a distance, and now I'm inside it every day. And that is not something I take lightly. I want to take Marcus to London in 3 years. I want him to understand that the world is much bigger than Harvey, and much bigger than the South Loop, and much bigger than whatever he thinks he knows at 12. I want to retire at 60, with enough that my mother never worries, and Marcus never has to worry, and I can do the work I want to do instead of the work I have to do. I think I can get there. I also thought I'd have 80,000 in savings by now, so let's keep calibrating. I'm a managing director at BMO. I grew up in Harvey. I make $385,000 a year, and this is how I spend my money.